In this video, we're going to be creating a mortgage calculator in Java. Sounds like an absolute blast of a program to write, right? But it's a great beginner Java program to create, and we're going to start from scratch here and write the whole thing beginning to end. Hi, my name is John, and I do a new Java tutorial video every single week. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a new video each week. I also have a full Java course available in the link down in the description if you're interested. And of course, the full source of this program is available in a link down in the description, so go and grab it. So we're going to take as input from the user the principal amount, the interest rate, and the term, the number of years for that loan. And our output is going to be the monthly payment amount. And on top of that, we're going to calculate the total amount that you pay throughout the whole course of the loan. Before we get started actually writing the code, we need to know what the actual formula is for the monthly payment that we're going to have to implement in Java. Here it is. Now, I know it might look a little bit scary, but I promise it's not so bad. Once you understand what all of these letters stand for, it's really not all that complex. So M here, this capital M on the left, is going to be our monthly payment amount. This is what we're going to try and generate. And we're going to calculate that monthly payment amount using this formula. The P in this case is the principal amount. That's the total amount of the loan. So for example, if you're borrowing $100,000 to pay for a house, your principal amount would be $100,000. I, in this case, is the interest rate. In our case, since we're coming up with monthly payments, we're going to need to generate the monthly interest rate. And that's very simple to get from the annual interest rate. We'll talk about that later. The only other term here we haven't talked about is N. N here is the number of payments. Again, in this case, since we're doing monthly payments, it'll be the total number of monthly payments. So it would just be whatever the number of years of the loan is times 12. So the goal of this program is going to be to take in the principal, the annual interest rate, and the term in years of the loan as input from the user, make this calculation, and then return what the monthly payment is. Let's get to it. Okay, so we know we have to get input from the user. So what do we use to get input from the user? We're going to use the scanner class. So we'll create a new scanner, scanner equals new scanner system.in. So it is keyboard input from the user. And to use scanner, we have to import java.util.scanner. So looking at our formula here, what's one thing we need to take in? We need to take in the principal amount of the loan. For that, we're going to use a double just in case the amount of this loan is super huge. So we'll just say double principal equals scanner dot next double. So what that'll do is take keyboard input from the user of some double and store it in that principal variable. And also we do want to put in some sort of prompt for the user so they know what they have to enter. System.out.println, enter the principal amount. So next, what else do we need? We need the interest rate. So again, we'll prompt the user with a system.out.println, enter the annual interest rate. For an interest rate, I think a float will be just fine. That's usually only a couple of decimal places. So float annual interest rate equals scanner.next float. Now we have one more thing we need to get from the user, and that is the term of the loan. We're going to get it from the user in years, just because that's the normal way loans are given out. It's given out, 10, 15, 30-year terms. So we'll again prompt the user with a system.out.println, enter the term in years, and that'll be a whole number, so we can just use int for that. Term in years equals scanner.next int. All right. Now we have all the information we need from the user. Going back to our formula, let's look at everything we're going to need to be able to plug in and get the right monthly payment. We need the total principal amount. We've already got that from the user. But this I is the monthly interest rate. Right now we have the annual interest rate, and we need to use that to calculate the monthly interest rate. Luckily, to do that is pretty simple. We can create a new float, monthly interest rate. That will just equal the annual interest rate divided by 12. And if you want to just use the number 12 here in the code, that's fine. But a little tip for your professional Java programming career in the future is never have magic numbers like these in the code. So right now you probably understand what that 12 is for and what it means. But sometime in the future, you or some other programmer might look at this and say, well, why is he dividing it by 12? So what you can do is create a well-named constant for this number. So that would look a little something like this. You want to put this here above the main method in your class. You can just make a private static final int, and we're going to call it months in a year, and we're going to initialize it to 12. So this creates what's called a constant. This months in a year variable can never be changed because we have told Java that this is final. So once we initialize it here to 12, we can't ever set it to anything else. And you can even see what happens if you try to down here in the code. Let's say we try to set it to 13. Java is going to give us a compilation error before we can even run it. Final field, months in a year cannot be assigned. So now instead of just using this magic number 12 here, we can use our months in a year variable. Now future you or some other programmer can look at this and know exactly what is going on. Anyway, easy enough. Now we've got our monthly interest rate, which we will use for our I to plug in our formula. So now we have P, the principal, I, the monthly interest rate. The only other term we don't have is N, the number of payments. And we do have the term in years from the user. So as you might guess, we can easily use that to get the total number of monthly payments. We can use int for that because of course it'll just be a whole number also. Int number of payments. To get the total number of monthly payments, we just need to take the term in years and multiply it by 12. So we can set that equal to term in years times, and again, we could just say 12, but remember, we've got a sweet constant we can use for months in a year. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we've got all the terms of this formula that we need. Let's go ahead and write the code to implement that formula. Remember, the goal of this formula is to produce a monthly payment amount. So we're going to create a new double, call it monthly payment, and we're going to set it equal to the result of running that formula. So let's just start writing it out. First, we're going to need the principal amount, and we're going to multiply it by the entire rest of this formula. So equals principal times. When you're typing out this formula in the Java code, you're going to need to pay close attention to the parentheses and things that you use, so you make sure the order of operations happens like it should. So for the numerator here, we need our monthly interest rate times 1 plus the monthly interest rate to the power of the number of payments. So again, that might sound complicated, but let's just break it down. I here is our monthly interest rate. So we have monthly interest rate times, so for what's in these parentheses here, we need to take 1 plus our monthly interest rate and raise it to the power of the number of payments. There's a method available in Java that makes it really easy to do exponents like this. And that's just called math.pow for power. Math.pow takes two parameters. And what it does is it takes the first number and raises it to the power of the second number. In our case, we want to take 1 plus the monthly interest rate and raise it to the power of the number of payments. So let's just type that out. We want to take 1 plus the monthly interest rate and raise it to the power of the number of payments. Let's zoom out a bit here so we can see the whole thing. So now this line is that whole numerator, the monthly interest rate times 1 plus the monthly interest rate to the power of the number of payments. And that's exactly what we have here. So let's contain that whole thing in parentheses, and then we're going to want to divide it by this whole denominator. So we put in a slash to divide, and then we'll put in our denominator. And you can see we have 1 plus I raised to the power of n. That's the same as one of the terms we have in our numerator here, so we can just copy that part. And that's this whole math.pow piece, so we can just copy that and paste it here in our denominator. And we just need to take that and subtract 1. So just minus 1. And that should work for the monthly payment calculation. Before we move on and calculate the full total payback amount for the loan, let's test this out and make sure it works. So let's just print out system.out.println monthly payment and print out monthly payment. Let's give this a run and see how it works. Enter the principal amount. Let's say it was $100,000. Nice round number. Enter the annual interest rate. Let's say 4%, so 0.04. As a quick tip, if you want the user to be able to enter in something like 4 if their interest rate is 4%, instead of having to put in 0.04, you can just take this number that they pass in and divide it by 100 so it works in your calculations. But for here, we're just going to have the user enter 0.04 for a 4% interest rate. Enter the term in years. Let's say it's a 15-year term. And once we hit enter, our program will do its thing. And we get $739.6884, blah, 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 blah. So about $740 a month will be your payment. So how are we actually going to confirm that this is the right number? One way is to compare our results with Google's own mortgage calculator. So we have a $100,000 mortgage amount, 4% interest rate, and a period of 15 years. Our monthly payment is $740. So it looks like Google is just rounding, but our results are correct. Real quick though, before we move on to calculating the full payback amount, now this amount doesn't look anything like a standard currency amount, right? Nobody prints out a number of dollars that looks like this. So how do we format it properly to look like a good currency amount? Well, there's another really convenient Java class you can use to do just that. And that class is called number format. So we can call number format.get currency instance, open close parentheses, dot format. And then we can pass into this format method the number that we want to format as a currency. And in our case, we just want to format the monthly payment. What this actually does is give you a currency formatter for the default locale of your Java instance. So because I'm in America, it'll just be an English USA formatting of the currency. Let's go ahead and run this again to see what that number format looks like. 100,000, 4% annual interest rate, 15-year term. Now we get $739.69, but it's rounded and formatted really nicely, right? We get a $, and it cuts off as 2 decimal places for cents and rounds it very nicely. This number format class is really convenient for this kind of stuff. So now that we've got this monthly payment printing out all pretty, let's do the calculation for the total payback amount. For example, if you take out $100,000 and have to pay it back at 4% for 15 years, what's the total amount you're going to have to pay back for that $100,000? So to calculate that is actually pretty simple, right? We know the monthly payment amount and we know the number of payments. So all we have to do is take this monthly payment amount and multiply it by the number of payments, and we have the total payback amount. So we'll just do another system.out.println total payback amount. Let's just format this nicely right from the get-go. So we'll use number format .get currency instance .format. So this is where we'll do our simple calculation. We have the monthly payment. We just need to multiply it by the number of payments. And that should work. Let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. Let's just enter the same numbers we did before. So $100,000, 4% interest rate, 15-year term. Let's see what we get. Our total payback amount for this $100,000 loan will be about $133,000. So you're going to be paying about $33,000 for the privilege of borrowing $100,000. So that's a pretty good chunk of change, but here you can see we're only doing a 15-year term. A lot of people use a 30-year loan on their house. So if you did a 30-year loan, how do you think that would affect the total payback amount? Well, we've got a calculator. Let's give it a try. Same numbers, $100,000, 4% annual interest rate, but a 30-year term, we get your monthly payment is way lower, only $477, but your total payback amount is almost $172,000. So for doubling the term from 15 to 30 years, yes, your monthly payment does go down, but you end up paying more than twice the amount in interest that you would for a 15-year loan. Ouch. You also may have noticed while we're coding this program that if you enter some kind of an invalid number, let's say you entered the number cheese, your program explodes with this input mismatch exception. And that's because this scanner method is trying to look for a double in the input that you put in. When you put in cheese, it can't really make a double out of cheese, so it blows up. If you'd like to learn how to deal with those exceptions and validate the user input so you know you always eventually get good input from the user, go and check out this other video I made on exception handling. And another thing you should never forget when you're using the scanner class, right now we have a warning because our scanner is never closed. And that is a potential resource leak, and we can't have that. So here, after this point in the code, we're already finished using the scanner. We don't need to get any more user input, so we can just call scanner.close here. That gets rid of that warning and makes Java happy and gives you that nice, warm, cozy, fuzzy feeling inside. If you're interested in seeing more Java tutorial videos like this one in the future, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss each week's video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.